student, again this is Professor Amolya Skalekar from Department of Computer Science, CMCS Yavatmal. In today's session, we are going to discuss the new topic in unit number 4, that is the distributed file system. The major point of our today's discussion are the directory server interface, and within that we will see three basic important points, that is the naming transparency, two-level naming, and the semantics of file sharing. Okay, so let's start with the first thing, that is the directory server interface, and within that the naming transparency. Now, the principal problem with the particular form of naming is that it is not fully transparent. Two forms of transparency are relevant in this context and are distinguishing. The first one, that is the location transparency, meaning that the path name gives no hint as to where the file is located. Here, the path like /server1 /directory1 /directory2 /x will tell everyone that X is located on server 1, but it does not tell where the server is currently located. The server is free to move anywhere it wants to in the network without the path name having to be changed, and this is basically called as the location transparency. इसको कहा जाता है location transparency. Now, however, suppose the file X is extremely large and the space is tight on server 1. Furthermore, suppose that there is a plenty of room on server 2. The system might tell like to move X to server 2 automatically. Here, unfortunately, when the first component of all the path name is the server, the system cannot move the file to the other server automatically, even if directory 1 and directory 2 exist on both the servers. Here, a system in which the files can be moved without their names changing is said to have the location independence. मतलब उनको कहा जाएगा कि वो location independent है. A distributed system that embeds machine or server names in the path names entirely is not always the location independent. So, to summarize, there are three common approaches to the file and directory naming in the distributed system. First one is machine plus the path naming, such as /machine /path or machine:path. Then after, second one is mounting a remote file system onto the local file hierarchy and single naming space that looks the same to all machines. तो ये तीन अलग अलग अप्रोच के जरिए आप नाम दे सकते हैं डायरेक्टरी सर्विसेज को या फिर सर्वर में. Then after जो सेकंड आता है वो है टू लेवल नेमिंग. Now most of the distributed system are just using some form of two level naming. The files have the symbolic names such as program.c जो अपन ने पहले ही देखा है for use by the people, but they can also have the internal binary names for use by the system itself. The directories actually provides a mapping in between these two naming labels, or you can say conventions. Here it is convenient for people and the programs to use the symbolic, or you can say the ASCII names, but for use within the system itself, these names are too long to utilize. Thus, when a user opens a file or otherwise references a symbolic name, the system immediately looks up the symbolic name in the appropriate directory to get the binary name, and that will be used to actually locate the file in the given path. The nature of the binary names varies considerably from system to system. In the system where there are the multiple file servers, each of which itself contain the binary names, can just be local inode number as we can have in the Unix system. A more general naming scheme is to have the binary name indicating both a server and the specific file on that particular server. This approach allows the directory on the server to hold a file on the different server. Here, an alternative way to do the same thing that is sometimes preferred is to use a symbolic link. मतलब यहाँ पे आप सिंबॉलिक लिंक भी अल्टरनेटिवली यूज कर सकते हैं. A symbolic link is a directory entry that maps onto a string which can be looked up on the server name to find the binary name, and the symbolic name is just itself a path name. Then after the third point, that is the semantics of file sharing. So when two or more users share the same file, it is necessary to define the semantics of reading and writing precisely in order to avoid the future problems or issues. In the single processor system that permits the processes to share the files like the Unix, the semantics normally state that when a read operation follows a write operation, the read returns the values that have been just written. Okay, that you can see on your screen. तो यहाँ पे आप दो फिगर देख सकते हैं. पहली फिगर जो है A, on a single processor, when a read follows a write, the value returned by the read is the value that has been just written. Okay, conversely in the figure B, in the distributed system with the catching absolute value may be written. Okay. Similarly, when two writes happen in the quick succession followed by the read operation, the value read is the value stored by the last write operation. In effect, the system will enforce and the absolute time ordering on all operation and always returns the most recent value, and this model is simply referred as the Unix semantics. Conversely, on the single processor system, they may both easy to understand and straightforward to implement. But conversely, in the distributed system, Unix semantics can be easily achieved as long as there is only one file server and the clients do not cache the files. Again, all the read and writes go directly to the file server, which processes them strictly in the sequential, or you can say in the serial order. And this approach gives the Unix semantics. Now, the changes to an open file are initially visible only to the processes that modified the file. Only when the file is checked closed are the changes made visible to the other processes. The adaptation of such a rule does not change what happens, but it does redefine the actual behavior as being the correct one. Here, when a close the file, it sends a copy to this file server so that subsequent reads to get the new value is as required. This rule is widely implemented and is generally known as the session semantics. Now, by using this session semantics, this raises the questions of what happens if two or more clients are simultaneously catching and modifying the same file. Now, the third approach, a completely different approach to the semantics of the file sharing in the distributed system, is to make all files immutable. There is no way to open a file for writing. Only operations on the files that are allowed are create and read. What is possible is to create an entirely new file and enter it into the directory system under the name of the previous existing file, which now becomes inaccessible. And the last, that is the fourth way to deal with the shared files in the distributed environment, is to use the atomic transaction. So, to access a file or a group of files, a process that executes some types of begin transaction primitive to signal that what follows must be executed individually. When the work has been completed successfully, an end transaction primitive will be executed. So, we can summarize these four methods with the help of this table. पहला है Unix semantics. Every operation on a file is instantly visible to all the processes. दूसरा है session semantics. No changes are visible to other processes until the file is closed. Third है immutable files. No updates are possible simplify the sharing and replication. And the fourth approach is the transaction. All changes have all or nothing property. Okay, so this is the figure for 4 ways of dealing with the shared files in the distributed system. Okay, so here the key property of this method, that is the fourth one, is that the system guarantees that all the calls contained within the transaction will be carried out in order without any interference from other concurrent transactions. Okay, so friends, these are the 4 different ways of handling the file sharing. Okay, thank you.